What is up, everyone? It is Saturday night, and that is time for the comic show. And I believe this is show number 9 or 10. I've lost count. So not really that big of a week. This week I didn't get as many books, so this will be a shorter video. I do have, a good 4 or 5 key books here. So we'll just kind of run down through these real fast. And we'll talk a little more probably during the keys. So one of the books you've been seeing a lot of is Spider-Woman, and I got a few of those this week. This is number 11, Spider-Woman number 11. And then 12 I already have, so then this is 13 as I'm working through this run from 1 to 50. And then this is number 14. So just 3 of those this week. Just picking up a couple of those as I go along. I'm seeing them out and try to get a couple of them. So this is Captain America Annual. This is number 13. So as you all know, I finished the Captain America run. I've been picking up a couple of the annuals from time to time. This one, I want to say this was like 96, 97, something like that. 94, excuse me, 94. Right there. So, number 13. And then we go into the She-Hulk book, Sensational She-Hulk, which I did not know this, but as you get to the higher numbers, they are increasingly harder to find because they were low print runs. Not that any of the books were, say, first appearances or anything. They were just low print runs. So this is number 28. Just it says, "Trust me, just sign on the dotted line." It's her and Mephisto. So Mephisto's been kind of a hot character because everyone thinks that he's showing up in the MCU at some point. And then here is 42. Byrne is back for this cover. This is during his second run. And then we got 47. And then the last one for tonight, number 48. So, but as you get higher up, they get their lower print runs because that book was that book ended at 60, and it was slowly at that point they were starting to dwindle down, selling those books. So a couple weeks ago, I showed that I had picked up Submariner number 2. This is number 3, very fine minus. So this is a really nice copy. Namor and Triton, terrific together. On a clear day, you can see the Leviathan. I don't know what's going on there. The dog's making some noise. So next up, so just one of those books tonight. Sorry, I'm just a little out of it tonight. A little tired. Been a long week. So next up, as we continue to go through the Master of Kung Fu. So I've got, probably 4 or 5 of these. This is number 21. It's a nice book. Another very fine. And then number 52. And then 53. Then 54. And then to finish this off, number 55. I'll set this over here. And then got a couple books here. So as you probably know, there's what I call the 3 tales: Strange Tales, Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense. So there's those 3. Strange Tales is where you had Human Torch, you had Doctor Strange show up for the first time, and Nick Fury. Tales of Suspense is Iron Man for the first time, then Cap showed up. And then Tales to Astonish is Ant-Man, Hulk shows up, Namor shows up, not their first appearances, but they have a good long run in those books. So, but you've noticed those books started at later, when the superhero books started, they were later numbers. So I actually have a couple books here that are pre-superhero. This is Strange Tales number 99. What happens when an inhuman creature disobeys his command? Don't miss Mr. Morgan's Monster. So this is Strange Tales 99. So it's a little different book. It kind of looks like maybe like an early Thing concept. But he would have already been, at this point, I believe he would have already been in Fantastic Four #1. I think it's kind of funny because I'll show real close there. The eyelashes on this guy are just like out of this world. That's a Kirby drawing. So that's Stan Lee's story, Jack Kirby drawing, and then we have Strange Tales number 100. So this was the last book before the superhero stuff starts in 101 with Human Torch. I'm thinking about maybe picking that book up because I don't have that book. I've been picking up a couple Strange Tales books here and there. This one's kind of different because it's like this guy's trapped in a maze. Every exit leads to an even greater danger. There must be a way out of this mad maze, but can I find it in time? And you can kind of see all the different things. There's stairs there, spikes. It says, beware all ye who enter here. Looks like he's about to crash to the floor. There's some big monster back here. There's a guy. There's some hands coming out of there. So that's kind of it's a good quality book. You can kind of see here on the edges, that's all kind of frayed, but you know, when it comes to books like these, like I always say, they're filler books, so I'd rather just have them in my collection than try to go find like an 8.0 or something real crazy. Excuse me. So the kind of the last book in this little short run is an Eternals book. So as we get closer, and I talked about this last week, that I don't think we're going to see an Eternals trailer until they know for sure Black Widow's going to get released in July. So I kind of like that. It gives me a chance to pick up more of these books before they go crazy. This is Eternals 18. This is a little out of order for me because I've gotten 1 through 6, and then I just kind of jumped up and grabbed this one because it was a couple dollars. It wasn't even that much. It was a couple bucks. It's in pretty good shape. So that's 18. I'm sure this is a first appearance of somebody. I'm just not sure because most of those books are first appearances of someone. So, making sure the dogs don't need to come back in. So, kind of the next little short run. I got a few books of the What If series. This is actually What If #1. What if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? That's kind of a neat book. So they kind of become the Fantastic Five. So in Spider-Man #1, he actually kind of he does fight the Fantastic Four. And then, so that's kind of where they got that concept from. So this is actually part of so that's volume 1. This is actually part of volume 2. It's what if Steve Rogers had refused to give up being Captain America. So we know that he's retired, I don't know, like half a dozen times. And sometimes it's by choice, sometimes it's not been by choice. But this is a what if he never would have, if he wouldn't have done it. I guess by not choice, because it's saying refused to give up. So it would have been by so he was forced during that storyline to give up being Captain America. So watching Captain. No, hang on, the dogs went back in. Don't mind the mess. Come on, guys. Come on. Okay. So watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier this week, we get a little more insight into John Walker, and that you don't really like him. At least I don't like him. I never really liked him in the comics, which is probably correct because he's kind of a jerk in the comics. So he's a jerk on the TV show, and we see kind of start to understand a little more of Carly and the Flag Smashers, kind of their outlook on, you know, and really why they're doing what they're doing. And I think, and I'm still sticking by this, that Sharon Carter is the power broker. I'm sticking by it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But they're going. I just feel like they're going out of their way to like try to make it not as obvious. So usually when that happens, that's your instincts are right. So it was a really good episode. The ending, spoiler alert, the ending was really crazy. And this is spoilers. So fast forward through the video, with Battlestar dying and then John Walker going crazy and then killing one of them. I love that shot of them the camera looking up at him, and you see the blood on the bottom of the shield, and it's such a different contrast from what Steve Rogers is, and that's really what I really think that's what they were going for, is that, you know, in that situation, Steve, even if that would have happened the same way, would Steve have gotten mad? Sure. Would he have killed that guy? No. That's the difference. And I love that little callback that they did to Civil War when he's fighting Tony and he gets his mask off, he picks up the shield, and you think he's going to slam the shield down on his face, and so is Tony. He's kind of got that look like, oh crap, and then he slams it down on the arc reactor. You know, he completely could have, in that moment, he could have absolutely just slammed the shield down on Tony's face. And he didn't, because that's not who he is. But we see that's exactly who John Walker is. He's taken the super soldier serum now. You don't see him take it, but you can tell he does, because now he can bend pipes. He's kicking guys out of. Okay, not really sure what happened there. Guess the app just kind of crashed. So you kind of see that little bit of difference, and he's taking the super soldier serum now. So we're going to see how that's going to affect him. He's already kind of got some of these, what seems to be some sort of psychological thing going as it is, because they kind of do the blurry filtered screen, and he's got these headaches, it looks like. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here with him, because for sure he's going to lose it. Like this, he wasn't made to be able to handle that the same way Steve was. It's like when Bucky says that to Zemo, Steve didn't do it. He said, yeah, but there's never been another Steve Rogers, has there? And he's exactly right. So that's kind of my little recap for that. So we'll keep going through the books here. This is part of the Volume 2 also. This is What If Spider-Man Had Kept His Cosmic Powers. It's issue 31. And then going back to Volume 1, this is What If Doctor Strange Had Not Become the Master of the Mystic Arts. I actually just picked this book up today at the comic shop. So this is a new series for me. I don't really have any of these books. In the last issue, or in the last show of Falcon and Winter Soldier, Sam portrayed, and I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name now, but this is his first appearance. This is New Warriors 19. He's probably in here, or he should be in here because it's his first appearance. Duh. If I can get it out without ruining the book. I just cannot remember the guy's name for some reason. I'm drawing a blank. And the Smiling Tiger, that's his name. That's right. And this is his first appearance is in this issue. So I just, after watching that, I jumped online real fast, found it for a couple dollars, and bought it. I mean, it's not like that character's not going anywhere because, you know, Falcon portrays him as that. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to have. So this is Silver Surfer number 13. So this is part of the first volume of Silver Surfer. And I picked up a couple of these now. They're getting, that first volume is starting to get harder and harder to get. Obviously that's a big book, and I'm telling you right now, when the Fantastic Four movie comes out, I don't think they're going to do the Galactus storyline right off the bat. I think they're going to do something different. I don't even know if they're going to have Doom in there. They may introduce Doom in something else, but still have him kind of there. Because Feige likes to do stuff that hasn't been done before. And if they just do the same thing over, I think he's like, I don't want to do that. So, but I do think if they don't do the Silver Surfer in the first one, that he will be in the end credit scene, or at some point maybe they'll just do their own Silver Surfer movie, or maybe a whole Galactus. I don't know, but he's gonna show up at some point, and when he does, there goes those books. Fantastic Four 48. That book's already. I mean, even a mid grade's gonna try to run you probably 1,500. And then 49, same way. 50, same thing. And then Silver Surfer 1, that book, even a bad copy, a fair to good copy is probably $300 to $400 right now. That book's gone crazy. It's kind of like Spider-Man 300. So here's another book. This is a little different one. I picked this up today. This is part of Marvel's. This was when they were doing, in the 70s, they were doing the horror stuff. I showed Where Monsters Dwell last week. I got a couple books of those, but this is a different one they did. This is called Where Creatures Roam. This is number 2. So it's kind of something different. It says, I spent midnight with the monster on Bald Mountain. And this guy here is like lowering this head on the body of this monster, I guess. So that, I just got that one. I saw it. So this is Where Monsters Dwell. This is number 2. I created Spore, the thing that could not die. It's kind of a cool cover there. And then this is number 19. Your race destroyed itself, human. It is the insects who now rule the world, and you are the last man on Earth. It says time capsule to be opened in 2000 AD. The Insect Man. That's number 19. Again, I just picked this up today. I thought it was kind of cool. So, as you guys know, Avengers has been the main book that I'm working on, trying to finish up, trying to do the whole run. That's from 1 to 402. I'm still looking for that number 1, and I'm hoping that that's going to happen this summer. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. You never know. I might walk onto one and can't turn it down. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for. So I got probably 10 books here of Avengers. They're all high numbers, so there's nothing too crazy here. So this is 298. And then a little bit higher, this is 324. So you got Quasar, White Vision. It says guest starring Alpha Flight. Puck's on there. A bunch of them are on there. Cap's on the middle there. That is 324. And then 325, I think this is a kind of a funny cover. It says, a Cap, why did you invite these people? Don't look at me, Quasar. That's Cersei's party. And there's Cersei in the middle there. Then we got 330. More of a cosmic storyline. Black Widow, She-Hulk, Thor, Quasar, Cersei, White Vision, Cap. And then 332, Avengers, and now Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom on the cover there. Logan there smoking. Fantastic Four's there. Hercules is there. She-Hulk's there. Black Knight's there. Namor's there in a suit. That's kind of funny. 333. 334. 335. 336. 337. And sometimes I talk about the backs of these two. I thought this one was kind of cool. This is for the Marvel trading cards. which these things are going crazy now. And you can see here it's supposed to be the human hand, and then you got what I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Doctor Doom's hand, and then Spidey, Lizard, and I believe that's supposed to be Kraven. But that's kind of cool. I thought that was cool when I saw that. And then Avengers 339, Avengers 340, the Wasp on there, and then finally Avengers 341. So it's about 10 books there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 13 books. So it's just continuing on the Avengers run. We'll see a lot of them like I showed with Cap. All right, so now we go into more of the key books. This first one really isn't a key, but I just thought it was a really neat book. So if you know a lot about Marvel's history, they were Timely Comics. That was when Stan Lee first started with them. And Jack Kirby, when they were drawing Captain America, and Joe Simon, when they were drawing Captain America, the Captain America comics, they were Timely Comics. And then they switched over to Atlas Comics, and then they went into Marvel Comics when Fantastic Four showed up. Stan Lee started creating more of the superheroes, the backstory, stuff like that. So this is actually from the Atlas period. So this book is actually from 1952, which is the earliest book I have in my collection. This is called Young Men. This is number 10. So it's kind of a cool book. I got it for really cheap. I just thought it was really neat and thought it'd be something kind of cool to have. So these books were more geared around young men and the battlefield, right? So these were geared around war. A few of these are actually called Young Men and on the Battlefield or And the Battlefield. I think it's On the Battlefield. But towards the end of this is when you get in 22, 21, somewhere around in there. That's when Human Torch shows up. Now this is the original Human Torch, not Johnny Storm. It's the original. And then you would get a Human Torch story, you'd get a Submariner story, you get a Captain America story. So I'd really like to have some of them. I think it'd be really cool. The Captain America comics before the original run, those original ones, I would love to have some of those books. Those Golden Age books, really cool. Submariner, I'd love to have some of them. The Human Torch books. I'm gonna try to get some. That's another goal of mine, is to get some of those. I mean, you're never gonna get them all. I mean, trying to get a Captain America #1 is, I've seen one on eBay that was just the cover, and they wanted $15,000 for it. I mean, it's just stupid. You're not gonna get that. So this is Young Men #10. So this actually started at number 4 with Atlas, and then ran through, I think, like 30, 31, something like that. And then Marvel took over, or the Marvel name took over. So the next book is this is I haven't really had much of this series. I like this show, and I always liked these as growing up. This is Transformers. This is number 1. Now the thing about these books is I want to say like the first 9 or 10, they all had reprints. So you got to be careful about which one you get. And the way to look at is if you open up to the splash page, it will tell you if it is the second printing or the third printing. So this is actually the first printing. So that was one thing when I saw the book. I thought the price was really good, but then I'm like, if the price is that good, then it's probably a second print, maybe a third print. So then when I looked at it, they had it marked at a 6, which I think it's pretty close to being a 6. So here's the book, and then I had her take it out, and I checked it myself, and it's a first printing, and I actually really good price for it. Most of these right now I think are going from anywhere between $70 and about $150, depending on condition. This is a 6, so it's the mid-grade. So this is I probably paid half of what I would online for it. So I feel pretty good about that. The next book goes along with a book that I showed last week, Thor 165. This is Fantastic Four number 67, and this is the first appearance of Adam Warlock, which at the time was him. This is actually on the outside of this Mylar packet, so that's not actually on the comic. So this was actually a pretty decent condition book. The cover is tanning a little bit, but you know, the white covers that are now 50 years old, it's gonna be hard to find a white one for a decent price. It's all white, doesn't have any tan to it. But like I said, I really just wanted to have this book in my collection because when he shows up, this book's gonna skyrocket. Thor 165 is gonna skyrocket. They're gonna be harder and harder to get. So that's actually felt pretty good, and I just realized that they just have it in this Mylar package. Because usually what I'll do is when I get them, I'll take them out, and I kind of put them away until the show happens. And I just realized that this is just in this Mylar package, so that's gonna have to be remedied, but that's fine. I can do that. So last 3 books here. This is another Strange Tales book. This is Strange Tales 179 featuring Warlock, trapped and helpless on the Death Ship. This is the first appearance of Pip the Troll, and I believe Gamora's 180. So this is the first appearance of Pip. I saw a rumor, or I watched a video. There was a rumor that he's going to show up in Eternals. I don't know. After what I would call the WandaVision debacle over Mephisto and the Grim Reaper, sorry. Over Grim Reaper and Mephisto and all the others that were supposed to be in that show. I don't really listen to the insiders anymore because they're not really insiders. Marvel's going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to tell people. They're really good at throwing everybody off their scent. But anytime something like that happens, you know, I always think, well, you know, what if they're actually right for once, and then this book's going to go skyrocket. So I went ahead and picked that up. Didn't have it, wanted it, so I picked it up. This next one is actually a pretty big book. It's not in the best of shape, but it's still in pretty good shape. There's some tape here on the. Excuse me. It's on the bag. It's not on the book itself. This is another Strange Tales book. This is Strange Tales 111. This is the second appearance of Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange is in 110. This is the second appearance. This is also first Baron Mordo. So as we know, Baron Mordo is in the first movie. He's going to be in the second movie. And this is his first appearance, and this is Doctor Strange's second appearance. So in this one, Torch fights Asbestos Man because obviously Marvel was trying to play off that he's on fire and asbestos stops fire. So I'm not really sure that Asbestos Man probably took off very well. But nevertheless, here he is. And so to me, this is a pretty big key book because, I mean, it's second Doctor Strange. You know, anytime you can get a second appearance of one of the main guys like Thor or Iron Man, I mean, like a Iron Man, a Tales of Suspense, 40 is still going to run you a few $100s because it's still second Iron Man and it's first golden armor, Journey into Mystery 84, second Thor, $400 or $500 book. Even in bad grade, probably $400 or $500 book. It's just because that's the way it is. So the last book tonight, I'm really appreciative of these. They sent it in a top loader, which was very nice of them. So this is another character that's been teased for the Loki series, but we don't know for sure she's going to be in it, and that is the Enchantress. So this is Journey into Mystery number 103. First Enchantress, first Executioner. So we saw Skirmish Scourge in Ragnarok. And there is the Enchantress. And I am fingers crossed that she shows up in the Loki series, because if she does, the book's going to take a nice little jump. But I mean, I don't resell them. I've talked about that before. I don't flip these books. These go into my collection, my personal collection. They stay in my collection. I've got other things. If God forbid something would happen or I needed money, I've got plenty of other things I can sell before I start selling these. I did this one time. I sold books and I regretted it. I still regret it. I sold a lot of key books off when honestly I didn't get as much for them as I probably should have, or at least I could now. And they were in good shape. And one of those is Fantastic Four number 49. I'm still kind of kicking myself over that. I mean, that book, I had a fine to very fine in that book. And that book's only going, probably in that condition's only going, I don't know, about for probably $1,000 right now. But so I told myself that unless I got absolutely in dire need and I couldn't sell anything else, that I would sell these. But I don't even want to think about that. So this is 103. I'm thinking about actually having this pressed and then perhaps slabbed. I don't know yet. You can kind of see up here a little bit. There's some creases in here, but there's a couple of them that are color breaking, but there's a couple of them that aren't. So that could be pressed out. And then, I mean, this thing probably would slab. I would guess this thing would slab probably around a 4 to a 4.5. I don't think I'd get a 5 out of it. I think it'd be somewhere. I think 4 or 5 would probably be the most I'd get out of it. But I'm thinking about maybe doing that. It is a key book, First Enchantress. It's this big book. Like I said, if she shows up in Loki, which there's a few different female characters that we haven't really seen what they're playing, then yeah, there's a possibility that Enchantress could be in there, and I'm hoping so, because I think it'd be really cool if she showed up. So that's it for tonight. I always love how they drew Thor in these early ones. I always like the early Journey into Mystery, but that's nevertheless. So that's the last book for tonight, 103. It's a cool book. So that's it for tonight. I appreciate y'all watching. Please like and subscribe. Take me a drink of Dr. Pepper. Please like and subscribe. We're getting close to 100. I think Dr. Crystal about maybe doing some giveaways when we get up there to 100. So we appreciate everybody watching, and we thank you all for the support. We really appreciate it. She's still doing videos. I don't think she really uploaded that much this week. She didn't get a lot of packages this week, honestly. I think I got the majority of the packages. So, but and hit that little bell for notifications. We really appreciate y'all watching and appreciate everything y'all supporting the channel and everything like that. So I will see you all next week, next Saturday. Hopefully this was actually, honestly, I think the last couple weeks, I think I had too many books. I think this was a good amount. So thank you, and we'll see you next Saturday. I'll have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good Saturday evening, and we'll see you next week.